my name is Crystal, and today I will be doing part 1 of how to draw an anime head, specifically a cat head. So first, we are going to draw about a rough circle and go until you like about where the shape is at. And then in the middle of the circle, we will draw a center line going down, straight down the center. And then we will draw another line for where the chin might end. And then from the sides of the circle, we will go down a little bit and curve it until it gets to about where the line is. And then we will repeat this on the other side. So, trying to point the chin out a little bit. And then, from here, we will, let's start where we might want to place the eyes. We will draw a line where the bottom of the eyes might be. And then, where we might want the top of the eyes to end, we will draw another line. And then from there, besides the middle line, we will draw 4 more lines going up and down. Now, the 2 closest to the middle, that will be the empty space, or space in between the eyes. And then we will draw the lines kind of on the outside, and then this here will be where the eye will be. And make sure to draw lightly when you're doing this too. And then let's see. For the eye, we will kind of go like this. Not on the middle line, but the line next to it. About the same on both sides. And then we will draw a slightly curved line again on both sides. And that will end about where the small box ends. And then following the first line we made for the eye, we will go in the same direction. And just for the bottom part of the eye, we will draw a little line just for the moment. We will add more later. So that's where the eyes are going to be. The nose will probably be about here, maybe. And you can always adjust if you need to. But we will kind of make it close to the center line. And we will do a curve. And then it goes up like that. And kind of shade that in a bit. And then for the other side, we will draw a small curved line. So now, let's do the mouth next. So we are going to go just a bit under where the nose is. So I am going to put 2 dots. And then for the top part, I will kind of do, kind of like a squiggly line. And then for the bottom part, we will just curve it to where it meets the other side. And then anime characters do have chins, so we will do a slight curve and then a line kind of going, a small line going like that. Now, for a little bit more details, we will kind of add a few lines there. And then what I like to do is kind of make the outside of the eyes a bit pointed and darker. So that's what I'm doing here, is darkening the eyelash parts, I guess you can call it. And then some anime characters have this, so we will kind of do a diagonal line kind of on the outside of both eyes, and then a slightly bigger one going left and right. And let's see. I'm going to draw in the eye part. So you draw some circles. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm trying to make them so that they will be facing almost the same direction. Just do the best you can. Then we're going to bring the under part of the eye out a little bit more and draw some three little lines in the empty space. Now for the eyebrows, the thicker part of the eyebrow will begin about where the eyes start. And then the thinner part of the eyebrow, or the skinny part, will end just about where the eyes end. So, going to try our best here. And eyebrows can be tricky, but as long as you get the basic shape, that's alright. So those will be the character's eyebrows. And then from the lines to the side, to about the middle of the outside lines, we will draw where we want the neck to be. And then we can kind of curve it to where you can see the shoulders. Okay, and then, let's see. For this character, I want this character to have a scar. So I will do a triangle at the top part of the eye, kind of cutting over the eyebrow. And then following that, I will do the same on the bottom. Okay. And And then, just as a reference, you can draw where you want the forehead to end. And then we will still keep the top part of the head for now as a hair reference. So we will do a little dot for where the hair is growing from. Or at least try to. I might make the top of the head a bit smaller, because I feel like that will be too big for this character. So then I'm going to place the dot about right there. And then I will do the ears first. So almost about where the bottom of the eye is, we're going to place the bottom dot. And then we will make it curved to make, I guess, the bottom part of the cat ear. And then the top part will probably end about here on both sides. And once again, we will curve it. And then just to see where the inside of the ear will be, we will do another curved line and end that about halfway in between the others. So that's the ears. Now we will do the hair. So we will kind of do some fast-ish curves and try to follow the direction you think the hair will grow. And it doesn't always have to reach the forehead part unless you really want to. And this is just a rough sketch. And then we will do the same to the other side. And for me, when I draw this, I'm going to try and leave the scar part open. That way it can be seen. And because this is just a sketch at the moment, it doesn't have to be neat quite yet. And we will touch it up more when we start inking. So that's the bang part. Now I will kind of go out a bit and make side pieces. And trying to follow the same shape as the head the best you can. And then I might add a few more pieces. And now for the top part, I like to kind of make this part a bit bigger. And of course, curving it back to where that center part is. And then for this smile, we will kind of go like this. And then because he's a cat person, we will have some cat teeth. And then for the neck, we will make a cat collar in a way. And then we will draw the line straight down. And then following the top part of the collar, we will make about the same thing. We will do a little oval. And then another small rough circle where the bell will be. And then we'll darken 3 spots and kind of draw lines to it. And now for the long hair, we will do the same thing as we were doing for the bangs. So this part can be as long as you would like for the back part of the hair. And then we will add some tufts of hair. In the inside of the cat ear. And then for the eyes, we will do the darker part on both sides. And this side will have some eye gleams, which is the shiny parts of the eye. And then this, I might have a little bit, but it would probably be less. And then if you want at this point, you can erase unless you want to erase after you're done with darkening the parts you like more. So, going to touch up a few bits. And I think we're almost done with the drawing. Okay. And then if you don't have this, that's fine. Just use a pen or something. But today I'm going to use a ultra fine point Sharpie for the inking process. So we will follow the sketch lines we already placed for the first part, and basically trace the pencil lines the best you can. And if you also don't like something, you don't have to trace that part. So there's the chin. And then let's get the hair out of the way. So we will go about right here, and then follow where we roughly had the hair part out the best we can for all the hair pieces. Kind of following those lines, going to try my best to quickly but neatly follow those. And then also, once you're happy with how it turns out, we can erase the lines we don't need. But for the moment, we need them. So, right now we're doing the bangs. And if you're using a Sharpie or any dark marker, try not to press too hard on the tip of the marker. Otherwise, you might have to buy a lot of new ones in the future. But if you lightly press to where there's ink coming out, it will save it for much longer and won't destroy the tip. If you use pens, that's better. They're less likely to break. But we don't want to try to cover most of the eye, so we will try and part it from the eye, because we still want to see them. So then we go, let's go this way for this piece, and then follow the guidelines the best you can. And some pieces will come above the pieces underneath, so we will draw some lines to show where they're at. And then, of course, bringing it back to where the part will be. And then, some characters have spikier hair, so that's what I'm gonna try to go for. And one thing I like to do is, if it's a little bit easier, I will make a basic shape and draw a little bit of a line, kind of going in the same direction as the tip of the triangle-ish part will go. So that's kind of like a triangle, but I want it to be a little bit pointier, so I will bring out that line a little bit more. And then, now if they are curved like this piece, you will kind of round it from where it starts and kind of swish it out for those type of pieces. Now I'm going to bring that tip out a little bit. Now let's draw the back part of the hair. So once again, following the direction a little bit, we will do that. And then we will continue the hair pieces all the way down closer to the neck. And then for this piece, we'll have it coming over the neck a little bit. So that's that side. We will now go to the other side, doing the same thing, following the direction of where the hair would go based on where the part is. Kind of curving as we go. And then this piece won't be seen fully, but we'll still draw most of it. And then, just to get this out of the way, we'll ink the necklace part. And then curve it a little bit as if you're making part of a circle to follow where the shape of the neck would be. And then we'll stop almost about halfway, leaving a little gap in between for the bell part. And we will draw a little oval, and then the circle part of the bell. And then in order to connect this part, we will do a half circle shape for the overall shape. Kind of like a little loop for the bell. On the bottom, we will make a little dot, and then a little bit above, another little dot. And then we will connect those with another line. And for the neck part, we will go to where we want the neck to connect to the head, to connect to the head, and draw a line a little bit from where we want the collar part to end. And then even between the hairs, if there's any gaps, we will continue that and kind of make a little spot where the shoulders would be. Now we will do the ears. So starting from where you want the ears to, the tip of the ears to be, we will follow those lines. And I normally like to do the top and bottom part of the ears first. And then I can decide where I want the line separating the inside and outside to be. And then we will repeat on the other side also. And once again, doing the top line next, and then the center line, separating the inside and outside of the ear. And then not all cats have this, but they sometimes have little fuzzies in their ears. So I'm gonna draw a little bit, kind of like a triangular squiggle pyramid for the fluff inside. Now for the face details, we will follow where we put our eyes. Now some anime characters have their eyes go like you can see them through their hair. But this one, I don't think we'll do that for this one. We will follow the eyes. I'm going to draw small lines for the inner corner. And then 3 little bits on that side. We'll do the same for the other eye. And then draw the little corners. And then we can also fill in the eyelash part if you like while we're at it, unless you would like them to be another color. If you want them to be another color, just do the outside dark and leave the inside open for whatever color you want to use. Now we're going to do the inside of the eyes. And we're going to draw the dark parts. And of course, draw a little circle where you want the eye shine to be. So we have that eye part done. And then I'm also going to do the scar part too. And for this, we want the scar to we don't want that part of the scar to have an eyebrow going through it. So that's why we are going to do the scar first, so we can know where we're going to put the eyebrow. Okay. So for this, not all of the eyebrow is seen. So that's what we will follow where we had the eyebrow with the light pencil lines that are still there. And then we'll do the same for this side too. And kind of go between the hairs to where it will come to the close there. Now let's work on the nose. We will kind of have a thin line and then kind of make almost like a hook shape for that part. And then we will draw a small curve there. Now we're on to the smile. So I will mark where I want the corners of my mouth, the mouth to be, and kind of follow those lines on the top and bottom for where we want the mouth to end. For the teeth, we will kind of draw a line there and kind of do a triangle and then another small line and then another triangle for the kitty fangs. And we have the mouth. And now all we have to do is draw the little chin detail. And then make sure you have all your lines that you wanted darkened inked. Otherwise, when you erase the lines, you might not remember where you initially had it. And then, once you're happy you can erase all the pencil marks. And you won't really need the lines on the face anymore, especially if you're happy with how it turned out. And then once you're happy, it should look a lot cleaner, and then we can move on to coloring. We'll be using a little bit of a mix, but if you don't want to, that's fine. So I'm mostly going to be using some colored pencils, and then I will be using the pink pen, if you have a pink pen. I will also be using one of the blues, and then a yellow. If you don't have those colored pens, that's okay. You can still get the effect with pencils. And then I will also be using a light purple marker and a yellow marker. First, I'm going to start with the pencils. So I'm going to get a color for the skin and neck, and then we will color it in, trying not to get outside of where we want the color to be. And then we will color all the parts we would like as this color. Me, I am using a peach color. So I'm coloring in between the hairs, and then try to, like, if you have the scar, try your best to not color in the scar. And then we are coloring all the parts we want. With this color, even in between the little gaps. And then, even though this part doesn't have a line, we won't color around. We will color around that part, leaving a little bit of white left. And then, in between the bangs, even the little gaps. We don't want to leave any white gaps, except for the parts we want to keep white for the meantime. And then, once again, kind of going around the eye and coloring. And then we will also do the same for where the neck will be. And the same thing underneath the bell color. And then maybe the little gap too. And we'll do this till maybe about here. about where the shoulder ends, or if you have the full body, you will color all the parts you want the skin to be that color. And then that is it for that color. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a light brown pencil, and then I will shade like where I want that part to go. And then because the bangs are there, we will color that part too. Kind of layering the colors a little bit and blending them the best you can with what tools you have available, and just kind of shade where you feel the shadow would end. So that's what I have for the outside of the face. Now for this part, I will shade the part of the nose too. And then I will also shade the chin part. That's what I have for the face. And now for the neck, because some of the chin is covering the neck, we will shade that part. On both sides. Maybe bring it there a little bit. And then also a little bit under where the bell part would be, because the necklace would give a bit of a shadow. And then kind of bring that to the outside part too. And I'm also going to go around where the bell is. And then touch up any spots if you need it. And now I'm going to be moving to a darker brown. And this part I will lightly kind of go a little bit more in from where I ended the lighter brown. Even on the inside of the hair, although these parts would probably be a bit darker, but not all of them fully. And then, of course, you don't want to push on the pencil too hard, otherwise you'll have to keep sharpening your pencils. And that wouldn't really work out too well. And then we will kind of do the same with the neck, and of course underneath the necklace. And then I'm also going to go a little bit around the bell too. That probably won't be nearly as dark. And then for the nose, let's go a little more here. And maybe kind of draw a slight line and a curve there. And then we will also do the chin part still. And then we are done with the skin shading. Okay. Now, let's try and move on to the hair. So, I want this character to have kind of some pink and blue spots on yellow hair. So we will kind of draw quick lines, and don't worry about filling it all in. We will do that more as we use different shades, unless you have only one color. Then you can just go with that one color. So I'm just gonna have random areas that are pink and some random spots that are blue. And a little bit back here. And I think just so I have an idea of where I'd want it, I'm gonna do the blue parts next. Once again, doing just some lines to make it kind of look like hair. And then let's go over here for the blue. And then maybe a little bit on this piece. And over here. And this spot is a little bit empty, so maybe we can add blue on this side since there's a little bit more pink in that area. And then some pink kind of going this way. And then if you want to use any other shade, you can do the same thing in almost the same area. That way it looks like it's a little different with every strand of hair. Kind of like a human's would be. And then you would continue that. And then I'm going to do another blue. And I'm going to put them over the blue areas. And trying to follow the same direction as the hair is already going. And then I think I have a little bit more to do with the pink. So if you have another shade of pink, it's good to use that too. If you have one, just still do the same technique over till you're happy with how the hair is. And then some of the lighter blue. My blue that I'm using is kind of, for me, it makes me think of a mermaid. It's kind of a lightish blue with a little hint of green color to it. So that's what I'm going to try to use. Okay. And then let's work on the yellow parts of the hair. Using the same thing again. We'll kind of go with how we want the hair to go. going to kind of bring it towards this part again. And then maybe color that part a little bit. And then do the same with the other parts of the hair. And get it to a point where you are happy with it. And I'm going to switch to a little bit of a darker yellow. And do the same thing. Okay, to make it look like it has streaks in the hair, where the hair parts would be separated a little bit. And then for the ears, I'm going to color this part a bit darker. And then maybe kind of go from yellow and then blue to pink on this ear. Let's go. And then let's go this way. And then pink on the tip part of the ear. And then for the inside, we will make the ear pink, because most cats have pink inside their ears. So we'll color that in on both sides. And then I'm going to make it kind of a little bit darker on the inside, but I'm still pushing lighter. And then kind of make it darker on the inside where the light won't get to it as much. Okay, and then for the eyebrows, I just will make them yellow. Maybe he added the pink and blue as hair dye. Who knows? And then for the scar, we will take a red and very lightly make it to where there's a little bit of color. And then we will take the light brown and kind of go over it a little bit. And then this eye will be fully blue. So I'm kind of going with the shape of the eye, and I'm gonna have a darker blue at the top, a blue, like a normal blue towards the bottom, in the middle, and then I'm gonna put the greenish blue around at the bottom. And now this eye, I'm just gonna make fully a blue, but if you have a gray, that could work too. He's blind on that eye. And then for a little bit extra, we will color the inside part black. Just have to get the pen to work. But we will color this part black for the center of the eye, being careful to go around the shines. And then we are good on the eyes. And then for the necklace, we will take the purple marker, fill in the blank spots, and then we will take the yellow marker and this is what we will color the bell with. And then, if you are happy with that there, we are done. This is how I draw a cat boy.
There you go. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye everybody. Bye.
Bye.